fix old cameras. Your successful completion of the demonstrated repair ultimately depends on the quality of your tools, the condition of your camera, and most importantly, your repair ability.
Accessing the meter circuit in the Canon F-1, the old-style Canon F-1, begins with removing the prism. With the prism slid out of the way, remove the rewind knob. The rewind knob can be removed by lifting up on the rewind shaft and locking the rewind fork and turning the rewind knob in a counterclockwise direction. The 3 screws located in a triangular pattern around the rewind shaft will need to come out. Rewind side cover plate, accessory shoe, and shaft latch assembly can now be removed. A quick cautionary note. You might want to secure the rewind shaft with a length of tape to prevent the shaft from dropping out of position and release the rewind shaft click stop bearing into an unknown location. Even if you are able to locate the errant bearing, it will be a bit finicky to reinstall. The front cover plate will also need to be removed. There are a total of 4 screws as indicated here. All, of course, are cross-point screws, and all, of course, need to have the proper screwdriver used to remove those. Attempting to remove cross-point screws with a Phillips screwdriver could damage and mar the screw heads. A 2.5 millimeter or single-aught cross-point screwdriver fit the screw heads of most classic cameras perfectly. With the screws removed, lift the cover plate. There is another screw hiding underneath the front cover plate that will need to be removed. And finally, well, not finally, almost finally, the meter switch will need to be removed. That is held in place with a spanner screw. The tips of tweezers can be used to loosen that if it's not overly tight. If it's too tight, you'll need to use a spanner wrench. Oops, a slip like that can result in a scratch. Note the flat sides of the alignment for the meter shaft. One more final screw and the sink socket can be removed. If a friction wrench is available, that would be ideal. If not, a pair of small adjustable pliers with the jaws padded with rubber tubing would also work. With the sink socket removed, grasp the camera housing and wiggle slightly to get it to lift free. And now we can observe the tight, efficient placement of the meter circuit and components. The variable resistor is for the battery test circuit adjustment. Bonus, a moment to interrupt this disassembly video with a crudely drawn schematic of the meter circuit. Pause the video and contemplate at your leisure. Here is where the red wire is located as shown leading into the on-off switch on the schematic drawing. Not really visible in the video is a timing scribe line along the mounting bracket of the galvanometer. One last look at the tight quarters. Not a lot of room for a voltage dropping diode in the meter circuit, but it can be done. So let's put the top cover back on. Tweezers helps with the washer. Drop the on-off knob in place along the shaft flat sides. Check for proper operation. Put the pin face in place. To avoid cross threads, start the threading with your thumbs as shown. Then firmly tighten with the points of a sturdy tweezers or with the spanner wrench. You will find a magnetically tipped screwdriver helps in the installation of classic camera body screws that are steel. The sink socket can be threaded in at this time or any other time once the body cover is in place. Make sure you thread the sink socket in completely so it seats properly against the sink contact within the body of the camera. Don't forget the hidden screw. aided by the magnetically tipped screwdriver. Install the rewind side cover and shaft latch assembly. Align the 3 holes with the tip of your tweezers and install the screws. The magnetic tip of this screwdriver makes the installation of these screws easy. If you do not have a magnetized screwdriver, you can create one by simply placing a fairly powerful magnet against the tip of the screwdriver for a period of time, say an hour, and you will then have a magnetized screwdriver. Front plate is to now be installed. Has it been mentioned that a magnetized screwdriver is very helpful in this process? In case you missed it, the rewind knob was quickly installed during the ongoing discourse on the merits of a magnetic screwdriver. Here is that rewind knob installation again. Back to the screws. Still snagging them with the magnetic tip. One more. Slip the prism back in place. Clip the door hinge back in place. Well, so much for the original Canon F-1 meter access and inspection.
Thank you for watching. Inspired? Check back for new video postings.